to Cascadia Hockey, brought to you by Buried Puck Threads. My name is Corey Gasson, and I'll be your host for the evening. With me, as always, is Chairman, CEO, President, Founder of Buried Puck Threads, one Mr. Aaron Piper.
Hey, everybody.
In goal for me, the captain of the Zamboni team, Kyle Houts.
The coolest team in the house.
Did I say it right this time?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. I knew it.
It's like you just say like the word house, but just kind of add a T in before the S and then
Carry the two.
Oh, you fucked it up. Now I'm going to
yeah, it's going to get. I'm just making it worse. I'm just making it much worse.
So much worse. Anyway, welcome to the inaugural run of Buried Puck Threads presents Cascadia Hockey. We are a Northwest-based hockey podcast. We're just in it for the love of the game.
Yes.
We are a bunch of bearded guys who sit around and talk hockey, drink hockey, live hockey, and we are all here about the community, the culture, and just straight up love of being cold and and going fast. Real quick, we wanted to let you guys get to know us a little bit. I'm going to kick it off with Aaron. What are we doing here, man? What's your background in hockey, and why is all this happening?
So I grew up on the mean streets of Chesapeake, Virginia.
Woo!
757. Yeah, but I grew up out there, and I had a buddy when I was like 13 who's like, let's play hockey. And I'm like, what's hockey? Isn't that thing that Wayne Gretzky does? That's the only thing I knew about hockey at that point.
It is.
It was, yeah. So, we started playing street hockey out front. That was about the time that Wayne's World came out, and Game On was just...
Car!
And I was like, this is kind of cool. We did that for a year or two. And then I went to my first Hampton Roads Admirals game, and that was in the Norfolk Scope, downtown Norfolk. Didn't know a whole lot about ice hockey at that point, but I went, and about 10 minutes in, I was completely hooked on that game. And that's when, I don't know if you listeners are going to even know this name, but John Brophy was the coach of the Hampton Roads Admirals. Yeah, we got everybody in here's like, who the hell's John Brophy? John Brophy was an old thug, for lack of a better term, but this guy got the team fired up. And they were in the ECHL, which was fun. And then in 2000, they transitioned over to the AHL, which was really cool. They were the Chicago Blackhawks affiliate at that point. But by that point, I was hooked. Hockey was everything. Every other sport could fuck off, in my opinion, at that point. And that's when it grew. And then we came out here, and I was fortunate enough to start working with the Tri-City Americans with the WHL. But, I mean, anywhere in between, anytime I can go and watch hockey, any level, any rink, anywhere, I don't care what it is, I'm going to go and watch it. So
Excellent.
So Virginia, that's where hockey grew for me.
Yeah. How about you, Kyle?
Northern Nevada.
When I think hockey,
You don't think Northern Nevada?
the first thing I think of
is Northern Nevada.
is jackpot.
Yeah. Oh my God. No, I like growing up, none of my family was into hockey, and I think I went to a friend's house once when I was in like third grade or so, and I was living in Oregon at the time, and he had the NHL '95.
Ooh, yeah.
And that was kind of the intro, but I didn't really get into it until like moved to Nevada, and then I became friends with a kid that was he was from Quebec. His dad was like a big wig at the gold mine there.
Nice.
And he's like, you should play hockey with me. And I grew up playing like basketball and baseball and stuff, and I didn't like it. I was terrible at it. I was shit.
Yeah.
I tried hockey and I was hooked. Like I was staying late for after practices, continuing to play, going down on weekends, and it was amazing. So that's where it all started. I actually didn't play goalie until I was probably 18, and then I was playing inline up until I switched to ice, and I think I was 21, 22 when I switched to ice. So I still do both once in a while, but Northern Nevada is where my hockey roots are.
It's
Nice.
awesome.
Nice. Me?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
You can't. This is kumbaya sharing time, man.
My relationship with hockey started in 1988 when the Tri-City Americans came to town.
I was 3.
I was 8. at that point. So from season 1 to season 30.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was 88. I was 10. So I was in like 4th grade, I think, 3rd or 4th grade. And my parents were avid hunters, and they had this gang of friends that they went hunting with every year. And one of the couples that they went hunting with every year, the wife Carol, was an avid hockey fan, and to the point that they lived here in the Tri-Cities, but she was a season ticket holder to the Winterhawks.
Oh, wow.
They went to Portland constantly for hockey.
Wow.
Until the AMs came.
Wow.
So when the AMs came, she was giddy.
Yeah.
And Tom, her husband, was like, yeah. This is more games he had to go to.
Sure.
And so she, one night when they were over for dinner, asked me, like, hey, Corey, you want to go to a hockey game? I'm like, sure.
Yeah.
No idea, you know. And I went, and Ole was in net, and it was game over.
That was it.
You know, that dude was a brick wall, and I was like, goalies are gods.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the most incredible thing. Dude, I've said this a million times. I'm a guitarist because I'm a failed drummer. I'm a linesman because I'm a failed goalie. And I have always said those things, like, it's just, but I became enamored with the game that night, and pretty soon I had sticks all over my room, and jerseys and posters and everything else, and I became a Detroit Red Wings fan that summer.
Oh yeah.
Thanks to Dave Coulier.
Okay, I was gonna say, what was the reason for that?
Dave Coulier had a Red Wings jersey hanging in Uncle Joey's room.
Yeah.
So my reason for growing up on the Red Wings was literally just because they were a good team on like NHL 95 or whatever.
Right. Yeah.
That was literally the only reason. And it just stuck. And I when I started learning the players more and watching the games on TV, I got more into it. So
Oh man, but this is still old enough that I had a Genesis with like blades of steel on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that was the thing too. But the funny thing about another funny thing about my hockey backstory was my first ever game. I was living in Oregon at the time. My first ever game that I would have gone to was a Tri-City Americans game.
Really?
But I was like 8, 7, something like that. I got so nervous when we were at the door, I threw up.
Oh no!
I threw up in line. Like if you even walk up to the building now and you look to the right of the box office, you see like a little pile of gravel that goes all the way around the building. Yeah. Like that was where I was just like, bleh. And my mom took me home, and my brother got to see the game, and he was all excited and happy, and he didn't even give a shit about hockey. And I was like, man, fuck you. So my first ever hockey game was actually a Utah Utes game.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
And then my first NHL game was a Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Washington Capitals.
Nice.
And the first person to score was Alex Ovechkin.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, my first NHL game was St. Patrick's Day 2001. Wells Fargo Center, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Ooh. Flyers, Rangers. Mark Messier was still playing for the Rangers at that point.
Wow.
2-1 win for the Flyers that day. It was a plan. I was up there with my dad.
You were on cloud nine, dude.
Fuck yeah. Well, I was up there with my dad. Like, he was on business. He's like, hey, you want to go to Philadelphia? And I'm like, yeah, let's go to Philadelphia. It was like a 5-hour drive from where we were living. And I was like, it's, close to my birthday. I'm like, Mom, give me my birthday cash. I'm going to go buy a ticket. So call the box office up that morning. We're in Philadelphia. Didn't have a ticket. Called the box office. Like, yeah, we got tickets. Come on over. So drive from the hotel down to the arena. And this is like, I don't know, hour and a half, 2 hours before puck drop. And I walk into to the box office, and the lady looks at me and just laughs. She's like, you really think we're going to have tickets right before the game? I'm like, I fucking called you like an hour ago. And you say, yeah, we got plenty of singles. Come pick one up. So I'm like, shit. So I get back in the car, drive back to the hotel. My dad's doing something, teaching somewhere. So he comes back like an hour before the game, and he was like, why are you still in the hotel room? They didn't have any tickets, Dad. It's sold out. Do you want to go back and check again? I said, fuck it. Yeah, let's go back. Let's drive back and let's do it again. So we get back. I walk into the box office. Sure enough, they're like, we might have singles stand by. All of a sudden, I get this tap on the shoulder. Guy goes, you need a ticket? I'm like, yeah, I do. He's like, let's go for a walk.
Nice.
So we walk out of the box office around the corner, and he's like, where are you from? I was like, came up from Virginia just trying to catch the game. He's like, got one for you. It's a $50 face. I'll give it to you for $60. I'm like, cool, done, deal. And my dad's sitting there looking at me like, did you just buy from a scalper? And I'm like, yes, sir, I did. You go back to the hotel. I'll take the subway home. And I went in, and the rest is history. And it was the most amazing experience ever.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That is awesome. I still have as of yet to actually attend an NHL game, and it's
boy.
one of the hardest things ever. I've gotten to see an exhibition game. You know,
Flights to Vegas are cheap, man.
Yeah, they are.
So trust me, that has entered my mind.
Yeah.
But that actually brings me to my next thing that I wanted to talk about tonight. Was did you see the announcement for rallying to get the expansion to Seattle?
The announcement.
That they were talking about this, like, hey, it's time to solidify the name.
Oh, yeah.
It's time to solidify the colors.
Oh, yeah.
Let's get this done.
They were riding on cloud 9 because of the 20,000 plus whatever season tickets they sold.
Tickets,
Like,
yeah.
oh, yeah, we should probably pick some colors and a name here.
Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to chat about that. What do you guys think? I mean, do we want to bring back the Metros? What are we doing?
No Metros, no totems, and the reason I say no, the reason I say no is because it's history. Let it be.
Yeah.
The one that caught my eye lately and the name that I liked was actually the Pilots, to be honest with you.
I don't hate that.
Don't do Kraken. Oh God, no Kraken.
I'm on Team Kraken. I'm sorry.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Why? Just curious.
It's a fierce looking animal. The mock up jerseys that I've seen have looked incredible.
I haven't seen those, so I'll give you that. I haven't seen it visually.
Dude, release the Kraken. It comes with a built-in slogan.
Yeah.
I
Could you
get
imagine?
it. It is kind of cheesy. I'll give you it.
Yeah, but could you imagine like the pre-game ice graphics coming out of the ice?
Oh yeah, dude, that'd be sick.
Do you? Well, they already throw small squids on the ice in Detroit, so I mean, you've already got that sort of creature.
There's the rivalry.
Do you remember how much crap they? I don't know.
Why do you think I have this on my desk?
Do you know how much? Remember how much crap they gave Vegas for naming them the Golden Knights? Everybody thought it was cheesy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I didn't. I really didn't.
No, I thought it was a
But
clean
if they
name.
thought that was cheesy, how the hell are you going to get the Kraken past the press, man? It's going to be.
It's true. It's
gonna be
true. Okay, so what camp are you falling in?
I like the Pilots. I really do because I think it
Pilots.
pays homage to the Boeing in the area. You know, it's simple enough. I don't know. I'm not flashy when it comes to names and all this stuff. I like lightning and I like Golden Knights.
Not
is
flashy, and you say lightning.
I know. I'll be here all week, folks. But just something like that. Sharks, not the Ducks. I'm not a big fan of the name Ducks, but
That is not. An
But it's
imposing
now
name.
it's now a classic.
Exactly.
Name. It's
It
now
is.
a staple name.
Well,
you know?
yeah.
I wouldn't have picked
Yeah.
it, but it works. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Kraken to me, man, just seems, I don't know. It just seems flashy. Too flashy. Takes
get it, I
away.
get it.
Dude.
That's just me.
You know me.
I'm
I come
pulling
from
up that concept art right now, though.
I come from the nerd
Yeah, I'd like to see
community, and dude, a Kraken appeals
Sure.
to me.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
it invokes a lot of cool shit, and so that's why I'm behind that.
Sure.
But I get your point.
What I truly believe, no matter what they choose, it's going to work. You know, it's fun right now to see the process, but no matter what they come up with, somebody's going to hate it, somebody's going to love it, but they're going to make it work.
Yeah.
And people in the camp that hated it are going to be Kraken fans in a couple of years. You know what I'm saying?
I want Sasquatch.
Oh, I love Sasquatch. Dude.
I think the,
The
problem
Seattle
with the
Squatch
Sasquatch
man
name,
would
though,
be dope.
It would, but I think the problem with that name is it's the mascot for the Sonics, and they're still trying to get the Sonics back.
Oh yeah, good
and
point.
I think that's where there might be an issue or some backlash from the basketball fans. I mean, really, I just kind of say screw them, but
But let's make no mistake here. The reason that the NHL is coming to Seattle, it all started because they wanted the Sonics
the
back.
NBA.
Yeah. You can't deny that. So,
Well, here's the thing, dude. Is in an environment where it rains 90% of the year, this is a town that takes indoor sports seriously.
oh hell yeah.
all right,
You
here you
know,
go.
in the places, dude, where
I don't hate it.
Yeah, it's actually,
hockey,
it's slick.
basketball, roller derby.
Oh, yeah.
Roller derby is huge over there.
Oh yeah.
You know,
And I like the stripes that kind of pay homage to the Metropolitans there too.
Yeah, it does. It has its own color scheme, but it still has like a Mets feel.
oh, dude, that's stupid sexy.
I thought you were gonna be like, that's stupid.
I don't like Kraken anymore.
No, that's fucking rad.
So if you want to
Isn't it
know,
awesome?
just if you're listening here, you're like, what the fuck are they talking about? Just Google Seattle Kraken and
The
Is
concept art.
yeah, concept.
Is the Cascadia hockey Instagram up yet?
Cascadia hockey. It's all going to be part of Buried Puck Threads for that.
Okay, we should share that then.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
We'll
For
just
social media.
I'll save that tweet.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be awesome. So the cool part, I think what's really cool though is, and I was talking to Craig West. He's the play-by-play announcer for the Tri-City Americans, and he was talking about what's going to happen, and it's happened in Vegas. It's happened all across the country. Is when an NHL team shows up, the game just expands immensely. Right now, there are 6,000 registered USA hockey players in the state of Washington. That's it. That's not a lot.
You watch. So
LA.
he's 100% right.
Yep.
Yeah.
You watch.
What is it right now? I think there's 6 rinks in the whole Seattle area.
When Seattle moves in, our attendance here in the Tri-Cities.
It's going to go up.
Oh,
We'll
absolutely. Absolutely.
We're going to see Seattle jerseys in the audience.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like
And
whatever
not just
we have,
when we're playing the Thunderbirds.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Like whatever we have, for people that show up or just walk around town in like Seahawks jerseys or Mariners jerseys. I mean, we'll see it for hockey too.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll whatever they do, I'll buy one.
So that brings me to a thing that this really irks me, because we live in a town that has 2 local sports essentially that we can follow, which
Hockey
is
and baseball.
hockey and baseball.
Yeah.
You can't find hockey apparel at any of the major sports like hat stores. Nothing.
Of course, let's
Yeah.
be fair though. There's not a whole lot of the major sports apparel stores around.
Well, I
here.
mean,
There's
we've got
3 in the mall, and not
Yeah.
one of them carries hockey stuff.
It's true, man. Every time I drive or walk by, is it Lids? They've got that Lids store in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I go in there and I'm like, you got any hockey stuff? They're like, no. And I'm like, all right, later.
They're like, nobody likes it's a football town. I'm like, fuck
hell?
you.
Football town. Yeah. How long did the Tri-City Fever last around here?
Yeah, dude.
Give me a break. Yeah, it's.
Well, it's high school football. Like we lose attendance at Americans game over high school football.
I know.
Well,
and
that's
my
because
kid's a big-
we're, dude, honestly, we're in the Pacific Northwest, but we might as well be a fucking East Texas town.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, honestly.
Yeah, well, me the last few years, my kid played at Richland, and like that was Friday nights. I'm going.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Play. But you're right. That's a religion around here is high school football. I got no problem with that. I really don't. But I do know that there's more people out there
Yeah.
that aren't coming to games.
Yep.
When I'm at Game 6 Monday night, and there's 3,000 people in a 6,000 seat arena for a Game 6 elimination game in the Western Conference Finals. When they announced attendance, I put my head down because I was embarrassed.
Yeah.
I really was, man.
Well, a lot of the complaints that I hear are like ticket prices. Ticket prices are just too high for some people to justify it anymore. It's like $20 bucks.
And we're towards the low end of the WHL
Yep.
for ticket prices.
Yep.
Yeah,
and I get it.
But the problem with this area in particular has got a very conservative, especially when it comes to prying money out of people's hands.
Yep.
It's a very conservative area, and that's fine. I get it. But when you're like, well, tickets used to be $12, I was like, that was 15 fucking years ago.
Yeah.
How much was gas then?
Yeah, shut up.
It's the
dude.
same. It's inflation. It's just how it goes.
Yeah. Well,
You know what? Minimum wage, you work 2 hours to get a hockey ticket. Calm down. It's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buy a ticket, sit your butt in the seat, eat some poutine. Life is good.
Poutineery. Shout out to the poutineery, man.
Oh,
They
my
do
God.
really well.
Yeah.
So, like, I make a good poutine. Like, I've been making poutine for a few years, and I'm pretty proud of my poutine. I really am. This year, my wife, at one point, went to the poutinery. She's like, I'm going to go check it out. I'm like, all right. Because last year, they sucked. They had, like, the canned
It was
gravy.
awful last
Canned gravy, and they just grabbed, like, mozzarella chunks and threw it on there on your Ore-Ida fries and all this shit. So this year, she's like, all right, they've got a tri-tip one now. Let's try it. I'm like, man, that's
That's good.
$15. It better be good. Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, it's
And they
good.
serve a little horseradish, man. It's
Yeah.
oh god. I'll make poutine for you guys sometime soon. But
That's
they were
gonna
like,
have to
okay,
Next week.
So let's. You stepped in it now.
yeah, I did. And I stepped in that gravy.
Now we're all excited.
Well, so anyway, we're talking about the area where it's not economics 101.
Come to Tri-Cities.
We're
Woohoo.
going to talk about hockey.
Yes.
And so let's talk about Game 6 with the low attendance.
Well,
Speaking of low attendance, I was not there.
but you had school, dude. I mean,
Yeah. I had finals the next day. So
okay, so. I'm gonna preface all this by giving the props where props are due. You got to say, Everett, congratulations, you did great. And I'm speaking as a hockey guy right now. I'm not going to talk as a fan because people won't like me at that point. But
I'm pulling for him at this point.
I am. So here's the only
bitter.
reason I want Swift Current to win it, and this is going to sound really nostalgic and really bad because of the Humboldt thing and
Yes.
because of what Swift Current went through.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like to see Swift Current win it just for that reason.
Yeah,
I agree.
That's fair. That's totally fair.
I agree.
But, Swift Current, 3 years after the bus crash, they won the whole thing. They won the Memorial Cup, which was great for them. Everett's never won it. But this is Pacific Northwest hockey is what we're talking about here. And Everett, man, I gave them zero chance before the season started to do anything. I said they make the playoffs, they'd fizzle out. Even when the playoffs started, I said, well, they don't have enough high-end talent to make it through
That's
the playoffs.
what I thought, too.
There's no way. They got heart. Yeah, great. But there's no high-end talent.
They're well-rounded.
They are extremely well coached, and you got to give a lot of credit to Dennis Williams. He came from the USHL. This is his first year in the WHL. He was up for Coach of the Year. He didn't win it. Swift Current coach won it, but he was up for it. What I watched, so 3 games we played here in Tri-City, Everett won all 3. And what I saw every time watching them live was they do every little thing right. Every little thing.
Dude, they move as a unit
Yeah.
better than any other team on the ice right now.
Yep. Absolutely. And
Hands
they've been-
down. And that is the key. It's the thing that gets away from everybody in junior hockey is moving as a unit, being a squadron on the ice.
And they were from line 1 to
And
line 4.
and that's 100%. That's what they've got over everybody right now.
Yep. And early on in that
Personal
game,
opinion.
early on in that game 6, the Americans, which they were a more talented team than Everett, the more high end talent, the AMs had it. You've got
Yeah.
5 draft picks. You've got Coughlin signed to Vegas. There was more talent on that team, and they relied on that early in that game. But then what happened was Everett came together as a team with 10 minutes left in that game. They were down 5-2. They tie it, send it to overtime, and win it 6 minutes into overtime. And they did it as a team. They bailed out their goalie. Carter Hart did not have a great night. I saw Kyle Olson fire a shot literally one stride past the blue line over the shoulder of Carter Hart. And I looked at the guy next to me. I'm like, that is the weakest goal I've ever seen Carter Hart give up in my life. It's like Hart was looking down the ice like, oh, there's a puck. Oh, shit. There's a goal. And at that point, man, the place is going crazy. You're like, we got this. But when they scored that third goal, it felt like Kelowna 3 years ago.
Oh, God.
When we were up like 4-1 and we ended up losing in overtime. I'm saying we here. I'm sorry. I'm speaking like a fan. But what I saw was a team that came together really well. Very classy team, too. Game's over. They sat back and let the Ams have their moment on the ice. Stick tapping, when the fans were cheering for them. And they did a great job with it. They really did. I congrats to Everett, man. And it's a Pacific Northwest team, so I'm happy for them.
Yep,
I really am.
absolutely. Absolutely.
It's going to be a good push if they. I mean, that's the other thing too. Is like if Everett wins it, that's going to definitely boost hockey a little bit. In this state, because it's so close to Seattle, and that's what we're pushing for. I mean, Washington's trying to prove it's a hockey state. Seattle's trying to prove it's a hockey city.
Yep.
And granted, I'm sure most people in the United States don't know what an Everett is, but
Do you like to fly on Boeing jets? A lot of them come from Everett.
it's still exposure. It's still out there, and it's going to help promote it.
Well, and that'll be 2 years in a row. Seattle won it last year. If Everett wins it this year, I mean, that's 2 years in a row that the WHL U.S. division wins.
Is owned by Washington State.
Yep, absolutely.
Cascadia hockey.
Cascadia
at its
hockey.
finest.
Cascadia hockey. As cool as Everett's run has been, congrats, guys. I want to talk real quick about Wenatchee, which if people don't know what an Everett is, they're not going to know what a Wenatchee is. But there's a little small town, middle of Washington State. I don't know what the population is there. Maybe
That's where the
15,
Wenatchee
20.
animal lives, right, and breeds?
Yes, exactly.
Okay, good.
Exactly. So, and Sasquatch is, supposedly has a home up in the hills there.
That's just outside of town in Leavenworth.
Leavenworth, yes.
Yeah.
Leavenworth is a beautiful town. You ever come through Washington, go check out Leavenworth. But Wenatchee,
If you feel like going to Germany in the middle of Washington.
yes, the little Bavarian village. Christmas time is beautiful up there. Wenatchee, 30,000 people. I don't know. It's not a very big town.
Yeah, it's not big.
But they play in the BCHL, which is part of the CJHL, Canadian Junior Hockey League, which is, in essence, it's a tier down from the Canadian Hockey League. They went on an incredible run this year. They won the BCHL, which I think they're the only U.S.-based team. I think the next closest team is like Penticton up close to Vancouver or something.
Chilliwack.
Chilliwack. Yeah, you're right. And there's a team in Prince George and all that stuff. But they won it. They're right now playing, I believe they're playing against the Alberta team, the team that won the Alberta Junior Hockey Championship. Well, Wenatchee's up 2-1 in that series as of right now. They're 13-0 at home this year. They haven't lost a game at home this year. They've got a kid
unreal.
on Central Scouting's list.
Yeah, they were tearing it up last year too for quite a while.
Yeah, but just for
But building on it, like holy crap.
But we talk about, I mean, Wenatchee is about, it's maybe 15-20% the size of the Tri-Cities, and it's become a legitimate hockey town there. They've got the Toyota Arena, or whatever it's called there as well. They fill that place up every game. It's an experience. They've got people in the community.
It's a nice looking rink. I haven't been there, but I've seen
haven't
it.
either.
It looks nice.
The pictures look great.
We should road trip.
Oh,
agree.
It's an hour. It's an hour and 10 minutes.
We're
It's not
going
that
to
big of a
road
drive.
trip next year for sure.
Okay, I'm into it.
Research.
Oh yeah,
the
we're
podcast.
gonna go on a few road trips next year. But I thought that was really cool to call out because once again, most people aren't going to know. You know, it's one of those cool stories that's tucked away because nobody knows about it. So congrats to Wenatchee, the Wild. They're rolling, doing well. I want to talk real quick too about, and I'm just going to roll through this one fast. The WHL award. Oh, good God! If I could speak at 5:00 on a Wednesday, the WHL awards happened today.
It was a bit of a mouthful.
Yeah.
There's a lot of W's in there.
What if you'd had to set the website for that? www.
WHL.ca. No, but the awards happened today. Carter Hart wins goalie of the year, player of the year. Talk amongst yourselves. What do you guys think about that one?
Neat.
Deserved, undeserved? I have an opinion. I just want to know what yours is.
I don't think it's not deserved. I don't know. Wouldn't have been my first pick.
Enough of him doing stellar work. I mean,
Yeah.
he's done a stellar job all year. Obviously, by the stats I showed earlier, but I mean, he's always fun to watch. That's for sure. But as far as I don't know, I guess I don't see enough of other guys in the league.
Yeah.
You know what? That's fair.
Yeah, I can't have like a too strong opinion on that. But I mean, good for him. You know.
Third year in a row,
Yeah.
by the way, that he won goalie of the year for the WHL. 3 years in a row. He won't be back. He's a 20-year-old next year. He's in the Flyers organization.
Philly.
I was going to say he's on your boys' team, isn't he?
He is, and I don't know how I feel about it. I got a head nod from him walking down the hall the other day.
Right.
And I had no idea why. I was taking media kits down to the media room.
Were you wearing that hat?
I was, and it didn't hit me until after. He's on the bike, and all of a sudden he's like, I was like, hey. And then I walk in the room, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm wearing the hat. I got it. But anyway, I don't know how I feel about him. A lot of Flyers fans think he's the goalie of the future, and he's done really well.
But
he's giving Sexsmith, I think his name is Tom Sexsmith, he holds like all the goalie records for the WHL. What the hell did he ever do past the WHL? Zero.
Right.
Nothing.
Yeah. That's the thing that scares me about goalies in the WHL is it's as a goalie in general, it's hard to break through.
Absolutely.
And I mean, look at Eric Comrie right now, and he's played like what 2 NHL games right now, 2 or 3,
2 or 3, yeah.
He's been in Winnipeg how long with the Moose?
2 years.
So this is his
3
third
years.
full season. Third full season because it was after that Kelowna game.
Yeah.
And that was 3 years ago. So yeah.
And I mean, yeah, he's got the call a couple times, but I mean, how long do you think it's going to be before he actually sees NHL action full time?
Well,
the goalie position is what it's 31 teams.
Yeah.
2 active goalies each. I mean, it's hard for a goalie to break through.
And once you've got your spot, man.
Yeah. And
Hellebuck is just doing
I know.
incredible. So
and who's behind him?
Don't remember.
I forget.
I don't remember
But
either.
still, I mean, I hope he makes a spot, but
For sure.
Philly's.
Well, he's got the talent. Like that kid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, he's amazing.
Yeah.
Philly's a rotating door when it comes to goalies.
Goalies in Philly are just scary because they're not going to be there long because, I mean, I couldn't even count how many goalies I've seen with a Flyers jersey on in the past 5 years.
First game I went to, there was a guy there named Roman Chechmanek. Does anybody remember that name?
Nope.
Second game I went to, there was a guy named Antti something Niittymaki. Anybody remember that name?
Nope.
Exactly.
Vaguely.
Yeah.
Vaguely.
Yeah. But what's that guy that plays for Columbus now that we had, and then we traded him for Steve Mason?
Oh, what was his name?
Actually, my mind just went blank. I can't remember the name of the Columbus goalie right now. He used to be a Flyer, and we traded him for Steve Mason, and he won the Vezina like 2 years
Bob's.
ago. Yeah, Bobrovsky. Yeah. Fuck. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Here's the thing that worries me about Hart, and I'll say this real quick because I know we're kind of getting close to the end of what we want to do here. But Carter Hart has had a great defense playing in front of him for the last 4 years or 3 years or however long. Kevin Constantine was there and just dude, they would trap you to death, shut you down. Didn't face a whole lot of shots. And the same happened this year. Mitch Love, their assistant coach that does the defensive scheme for them, does a really good job. Hart does not face a lot of through traffic shots. There's not a lot of hard shots he faces. He's going to go to Philadelphia, and he's going to find out real quick that that's not the same defensive scheme that's in Philadelphia. That's not the same defensive scheme that's on a lot of NHL teams right now. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It's going to be a year or two in the A, but I'm going to say this to all my fellow Flyers fans, because I am a Flyers fan. Calm the fuck down with this guy. He's not necessarily, now I hope he is, but as of right now, he's not the second coming. He's not. We'll see what happens when he gets up with the bigs.
Hopefully they hang on to him too, and he's not trade bait.
Damn it, Hextall, don't trade him away, man. Let him develop. Let him fucking develop. So
nailed it right there. That is going to be time. I didn't mean for that actual alarm to go off.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Real quick, because this made me laugh, and I want to get you guys' take on it. IIHF today announced that I think 4 or 5 players and the coaching staff for Team Sweden have had various suspensions because of their issue last year at the World Junior Championship. One of those guys, Rasmus Dahlin, I believe is his name, is projected to go number 1 in the NHL draft this year. Suspensions because one of their captain took his gold medal off, threw it into the stands. 3 or 4 other players not gold medal, I'm sorry, they wouldn't have done that. Their silver medals, took them off, threw them into the stand. Others just took them off, didn't wear them during the ceremony, and they each got suspensions anywhere from 4 games down to 2 games. What's your thought?
Even the coach,
even the coaching staff, yeah.
I don't blame them for being upset. But there's I don't know. I feel like there's a better way to express that.
Yes.
Because, I mean, gold medal game, Winter Olympics for women's.
Yes.
A lot of Canadian players, I think 1 or 2 of them at least, did not wear their medal. They took it off immediately.
Yes.
What's going to happen to them?
All right.
So,
anything?
So here's the thing. And this is another thing about hockey that I love. And it's when you're off the ice and representing your team, you comport yourself as a fucking gentleman. You are clean cut. You are, even if you're rocking the beard, whatever.
Brent Burns still dresses nice.
Yes, you clean up and you glad hand and you are polite to fans and you respect the fucking game.
Yep. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Okay? If you came in second, whether you agree with it or not, you put that fucking medal on and you wear it. It is unacceptable to allow people to disrespect. Don't come back. You don't want to wear it? Fine.
No, yeah, I understand their frustration.
And I'm getting a little heated about it. But I mean, honestly, that's my personal opinion. That's a thing about this sport is even the douchiest hockey players, and we all have met some douchey fucking kids, right? That are just tool bags. Off the ice, they're still polite and nice and well-mannered. And it's when they're putting their face forward as a representative of that uniform, of that sweater, you goddamn it, you show some respect.
Yep.
And that's what you're representing your fucking country.
Yep.
Okay? I'm not a nationalist guy. I mean, anything to anybody, you believe what you want to believe. If you don it upon yourself to represent something, represent it
with class.
The interesting thing about that too, though, is I was reading comments from the post that Complete Hockey News on Facebook did about this, and there were Swedes on there commenting saying, "We weren't mad. We understand they're upset. They weren't mad about them throwing the medal into the crowd." And I guess that's the difference between different countries and how they feel about that kind of stuff. Sweden and Finland are like the Canada of Europe when it comes to hockey.
Oh yeah, dude.
So
oh well.
Yeah, so it's kind of like I don't know, suspension, whatever. I don't really.
So the funny thing to me about this is just going back to roots of hockey. The first non-Tri-City Americans game I ever saw was the Goodwill games in 1990.
Okay.
And it was Sweden versus Czechoslovakia.
Wow. Nice. At the Toyota Center?
Come full circle,
nice.
yeah.
Wow.
Nice. So I'll one final word on it. I'm with you, Kyle. I don't know if it was a suspendable thing. I do think it was classless to do that on the ice.
Absolutely. On TV like that too,
Yeah.
Exactly. And the one thing I will say to kind of play the devil's advocate here, playing in a gold medal game and losing has got to be the hardest medal to win in any sport, in any event, anywhere, because they're giving you a medal for second place.
Yeah.
Right after you lost what you wanted, which was first place. Even the bronze medal game.
Even in like beer league tournaments or season championships where I've come in second, like it doesn't feel good. It sucks. You know, even just beer league, like I had like 3 before the game and I got second still, and I feel like shit.
Yep.
But like it still isn't fun. You want to win. You always want to win.
Absolutely.
And you want to show it off. You want to be proud of yourself for the hard work that you put into hockey.
Right.
I've put in, even though it's just been like rec leagues and stuff, I feel like I've put in a lot of my body and my time into hockey, and I've given a lot to hockey. And the first time that I ever won a championship, like even thinking about it right now, I almost get a little teary. Is like, that was the day hockey gave back. After losing teeth and breaking bones and bleeding and getting other people's blood on me and all this kind of stuff, and constantly fighting through injuries and whatnot, just because I love the game. I don't get paid for this shit. I just love to play. And
so my question to that, doesn't the shitty second place times make that win
absolutely
that much better?
Oh, it's so much better, because because what that loss feels like, and what it feels like to the other guys, and for once that you feel the other side of it. And like I can clearly remember being absolutely out of breath. I had nothing left. Like by the time that buzzer hit, I felt like I could collapse.
Yeah.
And after that, it's just all. There was a lot of champagne. There was so much champagne. Holy shit! But it was an incredible feeling. And I look at the picture that I have of me holding up that cup, and it was. I always think, I'm like, that's the day hockey gave back. And when you put in, I mean, even at beer level, like when you put in that much effort, and finally see something out of it, it's a really fucking good feeling.
That's awesome. It's
good. And so, I understand that like they were mad and they they chucked their fucking medals into the crowd. But even then, I was like, throw it in the garbage in the locker room or something. I don't give a shit.
Dude, I'm not saying don't keep it, and I'm not saying don't be salty.
Yeah,
but
be salty. That's fine.
You comport yourself with some class and some dignity.
Yeah.
And show respect to the game.
It's international.
Yeah, I agree. I agree on that.
Yeah. And I mean, to kind of wrap things up, like that's really what we're about, is the game.
Yeah, absolutely.
The love of the game, respect of the game, and wanting to share this community of love with everybody else.
Yep.
It's a rough and tumble sport, but it's all about heart and it's all about community.
Absolutely.
When it comes down to it, because you're gonna take some knocks and you're gonna fall down and you're gonna get hurt, and there's gonna be somebody there to pick you up.
Yep.
There may be somebody there to punch you in the mouth too.
Yep.
You never know.
Been there.
Yep.
That's what makes the game awesome. We are Cascadia Hockey. This is Cascadia Hockey Podcast. This is presented to you by Buried Puck Threads, apparel for the hockey
for the fans of the game.
Fans of the game. I was going to try and say something swankier, but that doesn't work because it's not. It's
Puck Bunnies.
It's pub rock hockey.
That's another topic we're going to talk about at some point.
We're going to talk about Puck Bunnies?
The Puck Bunny calendar presented by Buried Puck Threads.
Oh fuck yes.
Dude, I got a Zamboni. I got a Zamboni. I got a bathing suit. I mean, no, not for me. Okay, sorry.
Can you tell the folks at home how to track you down and watch your Zamboni casts on Twitch?
Yeah.
Oh, that. Yeah. Typically it's like Sundays, Tuesdays, Fridays. I haven't done it for about a week now because I was out of town playing hockey.
Yeah.
But it's twitch.tv/Houtzenstein, HOUTZENSTEIN.
Houtzenstein.
Yeah, say that.
We'll put a link in the in the description,
in the show notes.
Yeah, I mean, I do games, and when I'm at work or driving Zamboni, I'm definitely streaming it. So, and it's
rocking that Buried Puck shirt.
Yep. Yeah, I have a couple times now, and there is a little command if you type exclamation point BPT, then it shows a link to the Buried Puck Threads site. So.
Awesome.
Backing it up, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. Aaron, how can people get a hold of us if they want to talk or pick up some apparel or some Soul on Ice swag?
Well, we are on the interwebs, buriedpuckthreads.com. We'll take you to the website, to the online store, and then we're also on social media. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Check it out there. We try to keep things fresh and updated and fun stories and culture and all that kind of stuff. And we'll hope to see it grow here a little bit more soon. But for right now, we just letting you know who we are and how much we love the game.
Fantastic. Cascadia Hockey is brought to you by Berry Puck Threads and produced by AU Radio Studios. For Kyle Houts and Aaron Piper, my name is Corey Gaston. You guys have a fantastic night.
Good nights.
Peace out.